Straight out the boot room to Wembley, our second home. We come to conquer, no, we never walk alone. We dominate the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one and one for all. Pass a move, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool crew. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool crew. Pass a move, 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 it's the Liverpool crew.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. Liverpool secured safe passage through to round 4 of the FA Cup yesterday with a 2-0 victory over Arsenal. And just as we've started recording here, the FA Cup fourth round draw has just been made, so we're going to start with that. And we've been drawn at home against Norwich or Bristol Rovers. There's some great ties been done there. I think we've kind of got away with it a little bit there. You know, Chelsea Villa got drawn as a tie. Tottenham Man City another tie. So big teams are getting drawn early against each other, like we did in the third round. But Norwich or Bristol Rovers, I'm happy with that. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, you know what, you've got to beat who's in front of you, and it's always nice to get a bit of a weaker team, but it's the magic of the cup. Anything goes. So yeah, I'm glad that a few favourites are going to be going out already, and one of them has just gone yesterday. So happy days.
They have. One of them has just gone yesterday. So let's jump right into it. Going to the Emirates. Never easy. We haven't got the greatest record there, although I know in recent years it has been a bit more improved.
5 wins out of 6.
Yeah, which is mad, isn't it? Because we only won 2 in our first. I think it was like 17 visits there, which is fucking crazy. But it's just a testament to.
It's always at our place to go. We never go there and take the piss, but we sort of do what we done yesterday. We bide our time, but yeah, our record there isn't too bad at all. And I said to you on the last podcast, it was all about getting in their heads for the league title for me. I want to win the FA Cup, but it was all about showing them who's boss on their own ground. And I think in the end, we've managed to do that.
Yeah. Well, let's go back through it, because I think there's a lot to unpack from the game. You know, first half, Arsenal were all over us. It looked like we were going to concede quite, a good few in that first half. I think Alan Shearer said it in the game after 15 minutes. Arsenal could have been 3 or 4 up, in fairness. They just went. I think they just started. Their shape was just not the shape in particular, but the lineup in general. Like putting Kai Havertz up front when he's been playing well in midfield for them was just a weird decision. Not starting Martinelli, who we'll come on to in a little bit, but not starting him seemed a weird one. Ramsdale getting the start was probably to be expected. But every time Havertz got the ball, and Arsenal seemed to this season, going back to that thing you used to associate with them when you had Arsene Wenger, was always wanting to play 1, 2, 3, 4 passes too many. Wanting to walk it into the net like City do. And they haven't got the players that City have to be able to do that. And it showed yesterday. They were trying to pass, and then Kai Havertz to get the ball. Should be hitting it first time, and he'd take another touch and stuff like that. And it's every decent opportunity they had, they gave us the opportunity to actually defend it.
Yeah, to be honest, I think got to give credit to Arsenal. I think they played exactly how you'd want your team to play at home in the opening minutes of a big game like that. As I say, it was a momentum builder for whoever started the best, whoever went on to win the game. And I think they were desperate to show their fans what they're capable of. And don't get me wrong, they did maul us at times. They played some brilliant, slick, fancy football. And as you say, they were just a delayed reaction in front of goal loads of times, which to our benefit, we're thankful for, but they're lacking a striker. If they had a Haaland or a Jota, mate, they've got that game over in the first half. And I don't even think it's because of much we done wrong. I think they were just brilliant. I think they just started fresh and keen and hungry to make a statement. And at that times we couldn't live with them going forward, but they're just not great in front of goal. I think it got over-analysed how many goal-scoring opportunities they actually created. I counted 4 in total all game. That you'd say should have probably been a goal. There was a few half chances as well. But yeah, I think they had 3 in the first half. That you would say really they should be scoring, but that was it. we ended up having one ourselves. I had it down as 3. If it was a boxing match, it was 3-1 at half time.
Yeah.
Trent hits the bar. That's a goal. But we played like the away team, which we don't do often. We go to everyone's home ground and we try and take control of possession and dictate the play. And we let them do it. For too long, for my liking, we let them completely control the game. But I think, as I said to you before, if we got into that half time at 0-0, we were always in with a shout of winning the game. I could only see one winner at half time.
Yeah, I said it. Like, I think the first half was over, sort of not analysed, but I think it was just blown a bit out of proportion. I don't think Arsenal, contrary to what you were saying, I don't think Arsenal were as good as it was made out. I think, you had that first chance very early on when Ramsdale's passed it up. That's just a hoof up the pitch. It was a great pass, don't get me wrong, but that's just a hit up the pitch, and Nelson's got on the end of it and should have squared it, should have scored there. The other main...
To be honest, I think if Jesus was playing there, or the team involved, to think that's thinking the keeper, you win 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just fell to the wrong player in that situation. But the other major chance that they had in that first half was from Gomez getting the ball nicked off him, which was his only minor blemish on his performance, by the way, which again we'll come to in a little bit. But that other chance, again, you've cut it back to the wrong player. Kanate's come in with a fucking exceptional block. Then you've hit the bar, and then Trent's blocked it. So that's 3 shots in 10 seconds there. You know what I mean? Everything else besides that was half chances from outside the box or just straight down Alisson's throat. It's like Alisson had to make one save you'd say was partly difficult in that first half, and that was the Ben White shot. Other than that, I don't think Alisson was tested that much.
No, I agree. So I think with the Gomez one, correct me if I'm wrong, he gets back and actually makes a tackle at the end as well, which gives them the opportunity to shoot.
Yeah, you might be right. I can't remember it completely.
Yeah, Gomez was brilliant again, as he has been. But yeah, I think they had a number of chances, but it was made out like they had 9 or 10 one-on-ones where they should be passing the ball into the net, and it wasn't the case. They had a few block shots, and even like the third attempt off that attack where it goes to Havertz and it gets blocked. That's not a goal-scoring opportunity. That's a potential chance. It's not a nailed-on goal. Do you know what I mean? There was a few that way you're saying it's a nailed-on goal. But again, we rode the storm and we got away with it. But again, credit to us. We knew it. We weren't at the races. We weren't playing well enough. We weren't defending well enough to let that continue. And then we made the changes. But say even just before our time, we go down at the crossbar ourselves. We just it happens loads where we have all the ball, we have all the possession, we have all the attacks, but we don't really create all that much. Miss a few, and then the opposition looks well more dangerous on the counter attack. And that's what I felt we were like yesterday. Felt like when we did go at them, we looked well more like scoring than they did. So going in at 0-0, and then obviously just before that we hit the crossbar, thinking we've got it in our locker here to pull something up the bag.
Yeah. No, as I say, I mean, I said at half time we get these on the counter quite easily, and it took us till the 94th minute to get them on the counter. But I just thought I knew the game was there for the taking. But I think it was an Arsenal team, the short of confidence at the minute. I think it was 61 shots in the last 3 games and scored once. Gabriel Jesus isn't going to win your league title. Kai Havertz isn't going to win your league title. They're signing good players, but they're not the players that they need, I don't think. And Arteta isn't a good enough manager to make them into winners of league titles. Gabriel Jesus, yeah, people will go always, but he's won a number of league titles at Man City, but he was never the main man. He was never the person solely responsible, essentially, for fucking scoring the goals to make them league champions. He was always coming on and playing a bit part. He was never the main man there. So I still don't think he's good enough. I like him. I like him, don't get me wrong. I think he's a very good player. But
I agree. I think when you like, there's the odd exception when it happens, but when you've got a team like Man City, championship winning side, and teams like Chelsea who've gone on to win European Cups and FA Cups and league titles, when they're getting rid of their players to oppositions in the same league who are challenging the same stuff, you've got to question it. Like if we went after one of Man City's key players, this just telling us to fuck off. Likewise with us.
Well, yeah, exactly.
When they're actually you can go and have them. It's a big eye opener, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think even if it, say when Arsenal bought Jesus and we'd have gone in for him at the same time, I think they would have just gone to us absolutely not, because we still are a bigger rival to City than what Arsenal are. Even forget last season, but
well, like Arteta hasn't got the capabilities to bring out every ounce of talent in a player, whereas Jurgen Klopp might send Jesus and that to the next level.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's got the potential to be like a Jota, fox in the box. You want him on the ball in the last minute of a fucking big game because you think it's finding a net, but he just doesn't seem to be doing it for them, which is great.
No, it's weird. It's almost like they're sort of playing with no striker at times. It's they've got a number of players who like to come into midfield and be the person who unlocks the defense kind of thing. And then it's all well and good having them players to unlock the defense, but there's no one the other side of the door, if you like. You know what I mean?
Go back and unlock it again, and then they go back and unlock it. Keep unlocking it.
But no, like you said, if they had a Jota or a Haaland or just anybody, and we mentioned them on the last podcast, and Ivan Toney, that game would have been over yesterday. So you've got to credit Arsenal for the way they did attack in that first half. You've got to credit us for our defensive work, because as a defence, I think first half some of the passing was a little bit wayward, mainly from Quanta. But again, outside of that, he didn't put a foot wrong. I thought he was absolutely exceptional again. I think the whole defence was brilliant yesterday. The changes that Klopp made in the second half. We will come on to some individual players in a minute as well, by the way. But yeah, the changes he made, the timing he made them. Obviously, McAllister seemed to be a sort of a pre-made change, if you like. He was getting an hour, bring Gravenberch on, I thought was brilliant when he come on. I thought he changed the game, gave us a bit more stability in the midfield, which he hasn't done in recent weeks. I don't think people have been losing the patience with him, which is fucking baffling to me. He's been here 3 months. Give the lad a chance. But certain people were starting to say, "Oh, he's lazy. He doesn't do this," and he has got a lazy sort of demeanour about him. I do understand that. But you seen yesterday, he was sacking back, he was winning the ball, he was setting off attacks. I thought he was brilliant when he come on.
I don't think there's a chance there's a player that can be lazy and play for Jurgen Klopp. He won't have it.
No.
I think whatever, we've said it with Trent loads of times, where he looks arrogant and lethargic. It's systematic. It's what he's told to do. He's told not to overexert himself, getting back, because he's so much more dangerous going forward. Like he looked into that yesterday about how poor Trent was defensively, but how good he was offensively. He's out of position because of what he can do going forward, and fucking the positives now outweigh the negatives.
Yeah.
When we were talking the end of last season and like the beginning of the season, the negatives outweighed the positives. We didn't look good enough going forward and creating enough chances. Now he's in the bracket of the best midfielder in the world from back, which is outrageous. He's unbelievable at passing the ball. Love watching him play. So as you say, the defended as a unit. They committed blocking shots. Like Kanate was like a man possessed. Trent made a number of blocks, Quanta the same. McAllister, I loved that he sort of played the Endo role. He played the villain. He was being physical. He was being aggressive. He was bringing you down. And then Gravenberch comes on and he done what you want. He bombs forward. He creates space. He draws defenders out and he makes shit happen. And yeah, I think he's one of them players that he might look better in a game when you're starting to take control of it. You're starting to bed into the game rather than coming on when you're struggling, because that's what's happened the last few times. He's come on to like be a match winner in a game we're not creating football. Yesterday he came on in a team that was starting to settle itself, starting to look better, starting to look like the team that was going to score, and he added to that. Yeah, I think all round couldn't fault a single player. Thought he was superb, and as you said before about Alisson, he never really had a lot to do, barring the Ben White chance and then the fluke cross.
Yeah,
that really caught him out. That was it, and he dealt with that brilliantly. So yeah, you can't. I just loved And it's lovely going to away grounds and dictating the playing and bullying teams and just battering and looking the better team. For the first half, we didn't look the better team, but we knew the firepower we had on the bench and in the squad to do them.
Yeah.
And like Klopp was so patient. He's gone in, he's had a word said it's probably not good enough, and then we've clicked into gear and gone through the gears to eventually get the win that we in the end deserved.
Yeah, and you mentioned Klopp, and just his game management yesterday was superb. And I think when they brought Martinelli on, you could see Trent was not struggling a bit, but he had the better of Trent a couple of times. Didn't create anything from it, but he got past him quite easily a couple of times. Klopp seen that and gone, right, Trent get him in field, Conor Bradley come on, and then he didn't stand a chance against Conor Bradley, who was absolutely brilliant when he come on. Like he's shown why Klopp's been waiting for him to come back into the squad for the whole season while he's been injured, and why he was so highly thought of at Bolton last season and stuff like that. I thought he was fantastic, and Bobby Clark as well, but Bradley in particular, his defensive awareness just when the ball was in a dangerous position, his tracking back, just everything about him, it just looked brilliant.
Yeah, it looked easy as well. He didn't look out of place,
No.
which was great. Like there was a ball over the top, and there's someone running in back post, and he just makes it, heads it out for a corner. Brilliant commitment to fighting for the cause, really. But what I love when Trent goes into that midfield role, he defends more. He helps the right back more than the right midfielder helps him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whoever's playing right back when Trent's in centre mid has got cover as well. He gets back and covers, but he is fixated on getting forward. He really is. People breeze past him. It's like he daydreams. He dreams about what he's going to do if he's got the ball. But I'm not even going to fucking knock it whatsoever because he's unbelievable. But when you've got, I think it's got to be only a matter of time before he ends up in the midfield.
Yeah, you've got to think so, haven't you?
It's so good.
But now we've got that option there, obviously, with Gomez needing to play left back. You've got the option with how well Bradley played, you've got the option there now, starting him and letting Trent play in midfield. Just having that extra body to be able to play in midfield during this time when, Szoboszlai's got a little bit of a knock, Endo's at the Asian Cup, Thiago's still out, Pacetic is still out. Just having that extra body there at the minute could be wonderful, and Bradley gives you that chance now, I think.
Yeah, it's nice as well because we know our fan base, they moan about signings. It's January, they probably want to right back in and cover and left backs in and stuff. But I love that Klopp just believes in these kids, and it's like there's like a smugness about him when this kid plays well. It's like a fucking soldiers, just bear with it, just chill your fucking team. Don't need to go and spend 30 million on the right back because we've got a kid here who's still a fucking kid, still growing, and he's gonna pull performances off like that. Like. It's a situation for us to have this academy and these players that come in because, I know there's loads of fans, and I think it's more so your out of town fans who sit watching RFC TV and they watch all the academy stuff and the under 21s and all that, and they know these kids coming in. I don't watch any of it. Once they make it to the first team, I take an interest in them. I haven't got enough time in my day to be watching them under fucking 19s and under 17s and that, but a lot of people do. And there's a few names ringing around already again of other lads who were all set to come through, strikers who were all set to come through, meant to have the new Harry Kane in our rankings. I've seen him.
We've got some absolutely fucking brilliant players in the youth teams.
That's what I love about Klopp. Like he doesn't rush anyone in through desperation either. He waits for them. If they've got an injury, it's not like, look at Curtis Jones would be well gone just because of his injury record. If that's another big team, they're like, we can't rely on you. Just come on, you're gonna have to go down a league or something. But he hasn't. He's bared with him. He's stuck with him, and we're starting to see the best out of all these young lads coming through. And I was looking at the squad the other day and the ages of them. Like McAllister's an old man. I think he's about 25. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the talent we've got. What? Curtis Jones, 22.
22, yeah. Harvey Elliott, 20.
Fucking bizarre, lad. Gravenberg, 21, 22. Nunes, 22, 23. It's fucking outrageous. The quality we've got, the age they've got. Some of them are still growing. and it's exciting. I've said before, there's not a chance Klopp walks away from this team.
No, I don't think so. But it's just mad, isn't it? Like you said, there's fans out there who I seen fans moaning before the window opened about us not being linked with anybody and not signing anyone. It's like let the window open. But at the same time, it's like, we were linked with centre backs and that in the summer, and then we never bought one. And Klopp's just like, well, we've got Jarell Quansah there. And the majority of
Exactly.
people are probably going like, who the fuck's Jarell Quansah? And then he plays and Klopp just goes, that's who Jarell Quansah is.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? That there was this night at the Shankly Hotel where Jurgen Klopp was. I went.
Why did they give you the opportunity?
But no, he was so smug and he was just like, believe us. And like, we all thought he meant big signing coming in, but he obviously never. He knows what's there. He's seen the kids, and if we can bring kids through that are going to save us, it's not our money. We're not asked what the club spends, but if as a business and a sustainable business, a sustainable football club that can look after itself long after these owners and this manager's gone, then if we can be bringing kids through of this quality all the time, it's a fucking dream situation, lad. Why should we always go to like Southampton and Brighton and that and grab their academy players? Go and get our own, and we're starting to do that. And say some of them are brilliant.
Yeah. Well, Brexit, I mean, it's probably the one positive thing Brexit is done, in all honesty, is we've had to start looking closer to home for talent. So we are starting to sign academy players from other academies. You've got that. He was on the bench yesterday, Trey Neone, brought him in this summer from Leicester. I think he scored in practically every single youth game he's played for us so far. He's brilliant, but like, just like
father.
might be. But now just like other ones we've got, like, there's so many, there's a lot of ex-players who want their kids joining our academies. Now you've got Neil Dan's son, Jaden, in the academy, striker who's scoring for fun. You've got Jibril Cissé's kids are in the academy. Phil Jagiel, his kid is in the academy. Another ex-Everton player, Lucas Neal, his kid's in the academy. I think the only one who's got kids in the other academy is Emil Eski at the minute at Cities, but that's what it is. You've got these ex-players looking at what we're doing with our academy, seeing the chances that these players are getting when they get into the right age and the right stage of the development, and they're getting a chance in the first team. Bobby Clark is another one, obviously Lee Clark's son.
Yeah.
And again, he come on yesterday and he made a difference. But what I liked about yesterday as well was towards the end, the little snide fouls. The little snide fouls, that are going to get you the yellow card.
The amount of times I've shouted, like this season as well, fucking bring them down, and we stand out the way and we let them go past us. There was none of that yesterday. There was a 5-minute spell where there was just an Arsenal player on the floor somewhere and one of ours walking away, the ref for a card. I loved it. Absolutely loved it, because that's what we need to do. That's shithousey like that. Even Alan Shearer said, you don't want to say it, but you've got to do that. That's what you've got to win this game. You've got to bring them down, and even the young lads were on it. We just had to do it. But that we need to. If we can add that to our game as well, it's not nasty. It's not fucking malicious. It's shit out. It's winning the game. It's stopping you. There was one there where it was going to be like 3-on-2. I don't know whether it was Clark who brought him down.
He did get a yellow for one, like, so.
There was a fucking break on, and he just scooped him to that. Get off. See you later.
No, but we don't do it. We're not that type of team. Normally, in yesterday, we've just gone, nope, we're doing it. We're winning this game no matter what. I've seen reactions from Arsenal fan TV. I don't know if you've seen it, saying that they were that one said Kanate is horrendous. Where you get that from, I don't know. The only elite defender on the pitch yesterday who was French wasn't called William. Put it that way. But no, they said Jurgen Klopp's bringing 2 interns on, and they're called I don't and want a replay. And obviously we didn't want a replay because they fucking helped us win the game, you soft bastards. They needed this, Arsenal. They needed this sort of, to be fair, they've had the last 3 games now, but they need this spell to bring them back down to earth a little bit. They've had one good season and think that, the back amongst the elite kind of thing, and it's like, yeah.
Times be amongst the elite, you've got to do it season in, season out. Like the likes of us in Man City, Obviously, we can't even compare what we've done to Man City because they've done it nearly every year for the past 10 years. So, there is levels to the game. We're probably Man City are the top tier. We're the second. Arsenal are just heading into the third now. But don't get me wrong. I think I said myself, we're a striker. They're as dangerous as Man City going forward, but defensively they're nowhere near as good, and they don't create like Man City. They haven't got the firepower of Man City across the board. They got like Odegaard's a really, really good midfielder, but he's not a De Bruyne. They haven't got like Saka. Like it's just
overrated.
To me, just Raheem Sterling. Just the exact same player as Raheem Sterling, just fast as fuck and gets into little positions where you can tap it in. Doesn't really do anything. Doesn't cause any danger. Just the odd step over. Ball took off him. Seen nothing in him. Not really. He's not a Phil Foden. Phil Foden's fucking magnificent all across the park.
I know you're not. Yeah, he is.
But it's like Saka's not involved in the game nearly half as much as players like Foden and that. So yeah, they've got a long way to go before they're classed as like up there. They're a really good team, but they've got improvements to make. And I think if they don't make them this season, they might end up as good as he's been. He might look for a new manager because he can't seem to be able to take them players like Saka to the next level. They're just stale, stagnant where they are. So,
no, you know what? I was on another podcast yesterday, and I'll sort of promote that a little bit at the end. But I was on another podcast yesterday, and I was saying to it was run by a Tottenham fan and an Arsenal fan. So I was saying to the Arsenal fan, I feel like Arsenal were a better team overall last season. I think Declan Rice, he's been good for them, obviously, but I don't think he's had the effect that they were expecting him to. I don't think he's been as good as what the media make him out to be for them.
He's English. He's going to be walking on water.
And don't get me wrong, I do think he's very good, but he genuinely hasn't been the level that, it's been expected. And you look at the way West Ham have gone about replacing him. They brought in 3 very, very good players with the Declan Rice money, and look at them, they're flying. I think Arsenal have, honestly, it's going to sound weird. I don't think they've replaced Saka. Xhaka, sorry, not Saka. Not in terms of necessarily ability and all that, but he was there for a long time. He was the former captain. He'd worked his way back up to be vice captain. He was crucial for them last season. And I don't know if they've lost like a little bit of that team harmony kind of thing with him going and not really replacing him. I think bringing in someone who's sort of a lifelong fan of another London club must be a bit weird to replace that kind of passion and stuff. Like, I wouldn't expect a boyhood Evertonian to come into our team now and have the same passion that Curtis Jones would, you know what I mean? Even if he hasn't been associated with Everton for 10, 15 years, it just wouldn't happen.
Carragher.
No, but I'm saying now, today, would Ross Barkley come in and and I mean, he's not as good as Curtis Jones, obviously, but would Ross Barkley come into that team if he was good enough to be in that team and have the same passion about playing for Liverpool as Curtis Jones does?
No, I agree. I don't think any modern Evertonian, because they've grown up pure Everton hated us because we were good. They hate us because we just take the piss out of them now. They just despise us. So there's a bitterness there. But yeah, I agree with Declan Rice. I think he's been really good. I think he's been spot on, but he hinders them a little bit as well. He's too defensive minded. I think he stops them playing how they would usually play. Like Xhaka would get on the ball a bit more, like nowhere near the same level, but more like a Thiago. He'd have a little look to try and create something. He'd offer himself a bit more. I don't think Declan Rice does. I think he's fixated on defending, and that's stopping him a little bit. But as I say, talking about yesterday, they did play well. They cut us open in the first half, but not as much as some made out. I think overall, as I said before, I've counted the goal scoring opportunities, and on another night it could end 6-4 to Liverpool. It's just one of them games where they had a really good start to the game. They had a good half, and then we fucking picked up a bit. We got involved, and they couldn't really handle us when we did. They were making mistakes. They were panicking. They were making rash decisions, and then we took complete control of the game. So I know Arteta come out and said only one team wanted to win.
Only one team did win.
Like one team wanting to win and creating chances and not scoring. It's like, we box clever.
They're acting like, he's acting like we played like United did at Anfield the other week.
No,
and it wasn't the case.
I think for the first half an hour, we couldn't really deal with them. We weren't expecting them to come out the blocks like they did. I think it caught us a bit by surprise. And I think as the half went on, we started finding our feet a little bit. So the 15 minutes before the half, I thought we were probably growing into the game. But again, we've gone in at half time and gone, that's not enough. There's only so long you can keep them out if we keep playing like this. So let's change it around. Let's change a few things and let's go for them a bit more. And we did. And they were on the back foot. It only looked like one team was going to score.
But you know what, lad? Like you say about Arteta today, he's got no humility. And I've noticed that about him. It's, this is don't forget, he played for Everton, and was City's assistant manager for a good 4 or 5 years when Guardiola come in. So he's got lots of reasons to dislike Liverpool, but he's just got no humility at all. If his team lose, it's never their fault. It's never because they weren't good enough. Something had to go against them. He tries too hard to be Pep Guardiola, and you're not at Pep Guardiola's level. Like we all say, we'll all talk about Pep and how we can only manage with a checkbook and things like that. But his track record speaks for itself. At the same time, Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers we've ever seen. You can't deny that. And Arteta's trying too hard to be Pep light, and he's just not good enough. Simple as, you're nowhere near his level.
I agree. So I just think it was a stupid thing to say. In a game, you've lost 2-0. Again, when you look at the shots, I think it ends up 18 to 12, 13. There's a couple of shots in it. I think they've had 2 more shots
on target. Yeah.
So in a game, you're saying only one team went to win. It's not great, is it? If the stats were like 36 shot, 30 on target to our 2, fair enough. But then I'd still say, who's the better team? Who's box clever? Who's created absolutely fuck all and won 2-0? Us. So, again, I thought the management, the way we went about it, the way we done things, the way the team responded to the changes as well. Like sometimes it's hard making a number of changes because it doesn't quite. You lose all that momentum in the game. Everything you've built up sort of drains because you've changed personnel. Never happened yesterday. We just grew and grew into the game, and as I say, it looked like it was a matter of time before we scored. We had chances. We've hit the bar. Their keepers made saves. I think it was Louis Diaz who near put one in the bottom corner.
Yeah, not long before we scored on it.
We had chances. We created chances. We've hit Trent at the bar. Jota's at the bar.
Yeah.
We had Diaz's attempt. Nunes' attempt wasn't too far away.
No, it was good effort, that.
So yeah, I think. What was the other goal? What was the other attack we had that I thought we should have scored? We really should have scored it.
It was the one where Nunes has passed it to Diaz and it's been a bit behind him. Or a bit behind him. We've had like 2-on-1 and he's passed it across. I think it's gone through an Arsenal player's leg. But Diaz hasn't, I don't know if the run's been a bit badly timed or the pass has been a bit badly timed and it's ended up behind Diaz.
I watched it yesterday and I was thinking, because I watched match today as well, so I could talk about it and I forgot. But yeah, it was, I counted 3-1 half time, 6-4 to Liverpool full time.
Yeah.
If you count all the goals that realistically should have been goals, not half chances, not block shots, none of that shit. Goal ones you think you should be scoring there. The other one was the header. The header that just went past the post.
Oh yeah.
And then the one that went back post to Saka and he's put it over. They're real clear cut chances. Again, talk about the goals, Trent's delivery, fucking out of this world. I thought Diaz got on it.
Yeah, I did.
As soon as the ball left Arnold's foot, you just had a feeling.
You knew it was going in.
The net was going to go.
Yeah.
And it was fucking brilliant. And then that counter attack for Diaz is just
typical Liverpool.
I thought Jota miss it.
The pass wasn't very good, was it?
Oh, lad. But it was perfect. He could have hit it first time if he wanted. it was that perfect, but it went in real time. It looked too slow. It looked like
Yeah.
it was never going to get him. But
What a finish, though.
what a fucking goal that
Reminded
was, mate.
me of Mane's against City a few years ago when we beat them 4-3. Just it's the only shot I think the keeper wouldn't have been expecting. You know, with his weak foot, near post top corner, like he
Yeah,
couldn't have placed it any better. It was a fantastic finish. But
roof of the net.
um,
Over.
yeah, look, it's just you can say they look Mikel Arteta, Arsenal fans can say they were the better team all they want. The record books aren't going to go 2-0 Liverpool, but Arsenal were the better team. All it's going to say is 2-0 Liverpool, we're through, you're out, fuck off.
Oh, but again, like I don't think I think you'd have to be being really biased if you watch that match. You watch the first half, you go right, that's a brilliant half by Arsenal, but Liverpool still could have scored. And then you watch the second half and you go, Liverpool, the better team in the second half, but Arsenal still could have scored. It was one of them games. As I say, when you look at clear-cut opportunities, clear-cut chances, and goals scored, Liverpool had the better chances and in spells played better football. So, you know, if that happened to us, if they'd just been 3-0 up half time, I'd have said, fair play to them. We didn't do much wrong. They were just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Second half, they should say the same because that was how it was. We boxed clever, we were brilliant. Our plan worked, and it's all good going out and blasting teams away and battering them, but then getting beat 1-0 doesn't work. So
Yeah.
I'm quite because you know if we'd have won 1-0 and we played that way, we're never really under all that much threat when you consider the chances. I'm happy with that. We have always had a chance to score, and that's it. We've won 2-0, and when you put it all together, watch the highlights, we deserve to win.
Yeah, definitely. Just before we move on to talking about the semi-final, last thing to touch on with that game is I thought VAR was there for the game. We had VAR, didn't feel like we did. I thought the game flowed really well. My only sort of minor discrepancy for the referee is just that there was a few yellow cards Arsenal should have got that they didn't. But other than that, I don't think he had a bad game at all. Which is nice to be able to say for once, in all honesty. I'm sick of coming on here and moaning about the referee, so I just wanted to sort of point that out and just I thought the game flowed nicely. Yeah.
The proper cup tie from the off, it felt like a cup tie, and cup ties are often refereed a bit better. It just seems like for whatever reason the FA Cup becomes proper football again.
Yeah.
Certain things get let go and bookings aren't as often, aren't as fucking inconsistent as well, where one player can get away with something and another can't. But yeah, he went fantastic, but he let the game flow. I'd rather a referee not give a card when it should be a card and let the game flow. I proper enjoyed it, and yeah, fucking, it's just nice that we weren't robbed for once.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, even I mentioned about VAR, even like with the goals, there was no doubt that they were goals. Obviously, I think they were obviously not offside or anything like that. But it's just like in Premier League games now, even if you can tell a goal's not offside, I find myself not celebrating and waiting to see if VAR are going to allow it, and I found myself not doing that yesterday.
I feel like they didn't actually say goal confirmed or anything like that because they do. Like, no matter what, you could score a 30-yarder and it'll come up goal confirmed.
Yeah.
And fucking wasn't needed. I felt like that wasn't there yesterday, so the goal was the goal. It didn't feel like VAR was there. There was no.
I don't know if it's like because it's the Premier League, the people in charge of that are saying we want it used in a certain way, but then because it's purely the FA with the FA Cup, they're going we want it used a certain way, and then obviously EFL just don't have it at all, which brings me on to sort of it. The semi-finals, both of them won't have VAR because Middlesbrough are still in it. They are apparently the 30,000 seat in Riverside Stadium hasn't got the capabilities to house VAR. What? But Bournemouth's 10,000 seater stadium has, and Luton's, that was a championship ground last season and had to be renovated in order to allow Premier League football at it. That has VAR capabilities. Either give it to everyone or don't have it at all. Like, just it's pointless in situations like this. I don't know how you can say a 30,000 seater stadium can't have VAR. It's bonkers.
If you can televise a Middlesbrough
And who says bonkers?
VAR, someone bonkers. Yeah, no, I'm not even asked. I thought, as I say yesterday, I thought they never push VAR in your face.
Hmm.
Fouls, possible bookings, goals. It wasn't a case of, oh, we're checking for the
Hmm.
goal. Is it a goal? Let's all stop and panic. Goal confirmed. It was none of that. It was just, it's a fucking goal unless we get told otherwise. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Shouldn't cross our minds that the goal's not given unless it goes and gone. It's going to VAR.
Hmm.
That's how it started off. That's when it was better. But yeah, if Middlesbrough can have televised games, they should be allowed to get cameras in to do
It's
that.
mad.
Not
It's
that it passes me, like I
no.
prefer it out it.
Yeah,
But
me too. But just
yeah, the FA Cup
strange.
just it had that you're anticipating the team we're going to put out because it's so early on in the competition and we've got a fucking league title to go after. So you're thinking, do we go all out? Uh, it felt like a cup game, but it felt like a massive cup game. It felt like
Hmm.
almost like a semi-final. The
Yeah, it
relief of
felt
second
bigger
goal
than the third round, didn't it?
yeah, it was brilliant. But that's what happens when you play the big teams, lad. And again, if we end up struggling against Norwich or Bristol Rovers and we score a late winner to fucking end the tie, basically, it's going to go off regardless. Again, I thought the atmosphere, the Liverpool fans were fantastic yesterday in full flow. She went in the numbers, was jealous
Yeah.
going down to that London. But
The
yeah,
allocations for the cup games are brilliant. I was saying this before the game to me half yesterday. Like, what would we have got for a Premier League game there? 3,500, 4,000 tops. Like, and we got 7, possibly 8,000 there. Like, the
yeah,
allocations for the cup games are so much better. It's brilliant.
well, that's it. But it enables it to feel again. Feels like a big game. You could hear our fans were non-stop again.
Mm.
Even in the first half when we were struggling, they stayed behind them. And it's just well better when it's like that.
Mm.
Fucking no bones out when that. Seeing Taggy's lad and his mate on the telly. They're at every game, lads. Young lads who just live in the moment. It's fucking boss. You can't beat seeing that.
Yeah. And to the lad who had his heart robbed by Kanate, I hope you got it back.
I'll get you the Scouse Republic one for nothing, lad.
I want to know what they had against him and Nunes just fucking twatting
You're
him.
just whacking them, lad. I'm surprised not a fucking conviction coming their way.
I know, yeah.
Nunes was just slapping him over and
Nunes,
over
yeah, and then
again.
Kanate just went fucking hard joining and then robbed his hat. Fucking hell.
He probably said, I'm glad that's not Canate whacking me on. Oh, fucking straight that though.
Yeah, it was boss. But yeah, look, semi-final on Wednesday. Big game, first time in Fulham's history. They've been in a League Cup semi-final, which is mad when you think about that. They've been in a European final, but never been in a League Cup semi-finals. Madness. But look, they come to Anfield the other week, didn't they? Scored 3 past us, nearly won the game. So we can't take them lightly. It's going to be a tough game. They're doing well. I think they've now finally got over losing Mitrovic. I think they started the season really slow, really poorly. But Jimenez is starting to get a run of games. He's starting to look a bit more like the old Jimenez before his head injury. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, again, I'm excited to see what team we put out. If Liverpool turn up, we win the game. I said to you about the last game in Anfield against them. It was never a 4-3 game.
Mm.
We were well the better team, well in control of the game, played them off the park at times. But when they counter attacked us, they fucked us. Like they caught us so many times. They were brilliant on the break and we couldn't live with it. So we've just got to be cautious of that. We've got to be a bit tighter, maybe sit a little bit deeper and not let that happen. Get on the ball, play our game, and I think we sailed through. But it's a bit of a mad one with it being 2 legs, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a bit confusing to me that the 2 legs in the League Cup, but it is what it is. We've got a bit of a break after this game on Wednesday now. I think we've got about an 11-day break or something like that. No doubt they'll be jetting off somewhere for a bit of warm weather training or something like that.
Dubai, won't it?
Yeah, more than likely. But it's I think because of that it makes the team a little more difficult to predict. I think because we have got that break, I think he'll stick with Kelleher, like he has done for the entirety of the cup run. But then I think are we gonna? I don't think Szoboszlai is going to be back, is he? I think he's still out. He said 2 games for him at least. But we might have Van Dijk back from his illness. I think Kanate's got to start. But I mean, in fairness, you could even go Kanate and Quansah again. I think they both deserved it. Gomez, you're probably looking at starting still. I think he might actually go Conor Bradley right back. Where after his cameo yesterday, I think he'll get a good chance there. To be honest with you, I think he might start him there and go and maybe try Trent in midfield from the off.
Like,
It's it's risky in a semi-final, but I think if there's ever a time to let Trent let the fucking let him loose properly, why not do it in a semi-final?
the thing with Trent is when he plays right back, he still doesn't play right back.
No,
it doesn't make a difference really, as far as I'm concerned. When he plays centre mid, he helps the right back.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's like now he's got the range to go forward. He enables himself to think about defending as well. When he's playing right back, he only thinks about going forward. It's fucking mad, lad. It must be the system. But yeah, I'd agree with all that. It's a great. I think Bradley right back would be sound. The only issue you've got is if it's not quite working, it's not ideal to put Trent back at right back because he's not a great defender. He's only thinking about going forward. But it'd be nice if we could go and it would be nice if we could go and blow them away and then have a strong bench at the away leg and play a few of the fringe players if you want. But
yeah, I'd just like to say, sorry to just jump in, I would like to just disagree with Trent not being a good defender. I think he doesn't want to defend, but he can defend, and I think there's a difference that needs to be highlighted with that because that's all the narrative always is. Trent can't defend. Trent can defend. Trent just doesn't want to defend.
No, I don't know. I think it's a weakness. If you had to pick one weakness in Trent's game, it's his defending ability. But when he's brilliant at getting back and making last-ditch tackles and blocks and stuff, but the way he lets players go past him and that, he's done it in big games before. He's done it in cup games, done it in league games. There's always someone there to back him up. Don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant right back. He can defend, but I think if you're going to put an actual defensive right back at right back and it not work out, you don't want to be putting an attacking right back there to cover, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't think he will play him in the midfield. I think you're going to see Trent starting or like Bradley starting and Trent on the bench. That might be the way we go. McAllister looked good yesterday. You can't take Curtis Jones out the team. He was superb again yesterday. Again, he's we said it on the last podcast. He's a player that grows in confidence when we're doing well, when the fans are behind us, when the team are picking up the pace. He's heavily involved in it all. He grows into the game. That absolute abuse on Ben White, it was magic. How we never got booked for that, I don't know. And that was crazy. But I need to ask a question.
Go for it.
What is Ben White?
He's the nan off Benidorm.
Lad, what's wrong with him? Why are his eyelids white and he's like
orange?
It's fucking. What is he?
He's the nan off Benidorm. That's what Arteta always says. He's a strange looking individual, like, and I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm not really in the position to talk about odd looking individuals, but he's definitely an odd looking individual.
Like, hasn't none of his mates said, "Come on, lad, look at you, like your eyelids are bright white, and the rest of you is like running."
You know what? Probably no, because like they're probably all the same. He's probably paying for all of them to get to look like him. But don't forget, his mates don't watch football, so they don't know how he looks. Probably he's not. He doesn't like football. He's a football player who didn't watch football as a kid. Doesn't like football. Doesn't watch it now. He just happens to be.
Does he like mirrors? Has he got mirrors?
Maybe not. I don't know. He's a weird one. But yeah, I mean, Jones took absolute liberties with him, didn't he? And
Harvey Elliott yesterday, not as included as you'd like to see in a game like that, but I do think they just run rings dance in that first half. I think it was hard for him. Yeah, I think I'd like to see McAllister and Jones, and in a dream world, a Thiago. That's the type of game you want to see. A Thiago come back into the fold, but I don't know if he's even fully training yet.
I think he is. I think I've seen something that he is actually back in full training now. So, the one thing we just can't do with him, lad,
He'll get
is
20 minutes, won't he?
you can't rush him now.
No, I agree, because there's no point. He'll be out for another 6 weeks in a week or two.
That's it. He'll come in for the last half an hour, get a knock, and be out for another 3-4 weeks. So
just wheel him out trophy parade if we get one. Just fucking.
Let him drive the bus.
Nunes yesterday, again, when he went, not very impact in the first half, not really seen, not caused any danger, and then went out left and was a nightmare. So again, I think we're starting to see that he's better on the left. I think did Diaz go over to the right yesterday for a bit?
Because I think when he made the changes, he started it with, I think he put Jota on the right at first. Oddly, I think he kept Nunes left. Diaz left, Jota on the right, and then Nunes through the middle. Seeing it wasn't working, told Diaz to go across, Jota in the middle, and then Nunes on the left. And we had a lot more fluidity about us when he made that change. You could tell the difference straight away.
That's the thing. Diaz is versatile. Nunes is versatile. I just think, and Jota's the same. Jota can play out wide, but you need him in the box or near the centre of the goal. Nunes and Diaz, I think they could go on either wing, but they are well more dangerous. Like even that, like Nunes bombing down the pitch and that ball from Trent, where he just floated it, curveballed it into his path. And I think he's handballed it. To be honest, I think he slapped it with his hand and nothing got given. But the pass is fantastic. The space he's made, the run he's made, brilliant. So he's got in his locker to cause complete carnage. We just need to use him in the right way. I think we need to not give up on the striker role, but use him to the best of his ability. You know, when he's played against us, he's played on the left. He's tore us apart. When he's played his best games, it's always cutting in from out wide, or running in behind. So use him like that. So go for it.
I agree. So I'm going to put you on the spot to finish off here. I'm not going to ask for the prediction for Wednesday because we've been shouted at many times for that. We're not allowed to do that anymore. So give me what you would like to see your starting 11 for Wednesday.
Wednesday, Kelleher, Arnold, Canate, Quansah, Gomez, McAllister, Jones, Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott on the right, Diaz on the left, Jota in the middle.
I like it. I'd go Kelleher, Bradley, Gomez left back, Canate, Quansah, McAllister, Jones, Trent, and then I'd go Elliott right, Nunes left, Jota up front.
You know what, lad? It's a great headache to have.
Yeah, it is.
Got so much ability, but as we've said before, I think our only issue is that a few of them are better impact players. But hopefully we don't need an impact player when we play them on Wednesday. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's like the first game, but we're tighter at the back.
Yeah, I think we will be. I think with the players we've got in there now, I think if we go with that back four that I've said particularly, I think they're for more defensively minded players. Obviously, I think when you add Tsimikas and Trent there, and even Robertson and Trent there, they're players who like to go forward more. And obviously, Tsimikas and Robertson are better at tracking back and things like that than what Trent normally is. But still, one of their main objectives is attack, and I think Gomez doesn't really do it as much. Bradley probably won't do it as much, so I think will be tighter just because of that, I think.
My prediction is going to be Gomez is going to get his goal on Wednesday. Can't wait for it, when he gets it.
I think it's coming in a final or something, lad. I've just
got about 10 years, hasn't he? So it's going to be if he gets it, not when. But
it's when this season. He's talking upon himself. It's when this season.
Imagine the parties when he does it. But I think they'll come. I don't know what Fulham are going to turn up. Did he take strength and belief from the last performance where they have got in behind and caused the problems, or do they think let's not get blitzed here and let's go back to Craven Cottage with a chance? Do we sit in, try and frustrate them, frustrate the crowd, waste time and see how they go? I think, again, it always depends what Liverpool turns up when a team turns up like that at Anfield, because we just can't fathom it out. We can't get in behind, we can't create. So hopefully, with the chances we've created against Arsenal, we know we can get in behind teams, we can score goals. So we just got to go out and play our game. And as I always say, if Liverpool turn up, we'll be on our way, one leg in a fan.
That's it. So we are going to wrap it up there. Keeping to our promise that we try and keep it shorter this week. Just before we do go, I mentioned there I was on another podcast yesterday, so if anyone does want to go and have a little listen to that, the podcast is called NorthLondonIs, hosted by an Arsenal fan and a Tottenham fan who've been mates for 40 years.
Was the word used?
No, it wasn't. I can reassuredly say that there wasn't.
Or blood?
No,
blood?
none of that. None of that.
Right,
Two normal, down to earth fans of North London clubs who like to have a bit of banter with each other. But yeah, they were good lads. They weren't like they weren't like Arsenal fans and Tottenham fans that you see online who got this sense of that the greatest teams in the world and stuff like that. They're very honest, down to earth about both teams, and it was good chat. I like getting invited on other things like that, so I was happy to go on there and have a chat with them. It was good fun, and yeah, so it's out now. They released it this morning, so I'd say it's called North London Is. I'll put the link to it in the episode description and that for this as well. But yeah, until next time, up the Reds.
Up the Reds.